Big Feud Little People fans share wild theory about Amy Roloff's friendship with her ex Matt's girlfriend Caryn Chandler. Matt, 61, got into a relationship with his former assistant Caryn after he divorced Amy, 60, in 2016 in an online thread. Fans theorized that the friendship between Amy and Caryn is totally fake and just for the show. One fan suggested, in all seriousness, that relationship is not real. Another fan claimed, considering that Matt and Caryn fooled around when Matt and Amy were still married, I would say that the producers are forcing a friendship on Amy and her children. A third fan guessed, pretty sure it's Amy probably hates Caryn and would never want to hang out with her, but they all want those paychecks to keep rolling in, so they put up with stage scenes that imply they are all friendly. A fourth person wrote, Amy and Caryn can't stand being around each other. It's so obvious and extremely awkward to watch. Fake it to make that money. A commentator chimed in, it's pretty obvious Amy hates both of them. Amy probably hates Caryn and would never want to hang out with her, but they all want those paychecks to keep rolling in, so they put up with stage scenes that implied they are all friendly. A fourth person wrote, Amy and Caryn can't stand being around each other. It's so obvious and extremely awkward to watch. Fake it to make that money. A commentator chimed in, it's pretty obvious Amy hates both of them. Recently, Matt revealed he has no plans to propose to his girlfriend, who he has been dating since 2017. In the most recent installment, the Roloff patriarch told his friend, I think Caryn's disappointed about what's happening. Right now, we're just sort of hanging out in limbo. The LPBJ star explained that he has been waiting to complete his dream home before popping the question to Caryn. Recently, Matt revealed he has no plans to propose to his girlfriend, who he has been dating since 2017. In the most recent installment, the Roloff patriarch told his friend, I think Caryn's disappointed about what's happening. Right now, we're just sort of hanging out in limbo. The LPBJ star explained that he has been waiting to complete his dream home before popping the question to Caryn. Matt added, it just doesn't make sense for me to propose to her, for us to get married until we have a place that we can land in. And neither one of our houses works for the other, so it's just very, very disappointing. While Caryn lives separately, Matt has been residing in a mobile. Matt and Caryn's relationship status came amid the tension with his son Zach, 32, and his wife Tori, 31. The group clashed after Zach sought to buy a portion of Roloff Farms, but his offer was declined. Zach and Tori have not introduced Caryn to their newborn son Joja. Meanwhile, fans noted Amy seemed happier with her current husband, Chris Merrick, than she ever did with her ex. During a recent episode of LPBO, the Roloff matriarch broke down into tears over her insecurities as she said, there are moments that go back to my childhood. Meanwhile, fans noted Amy seemed happier with her current husband, Chris Merrick, than she ever did with her ex. During a recent episode of LPBW, the Roloff matriarch broke down into tears over her insecurities as she said, there are moments that go back to my childhood. I'm just glad he thinks I'm good enough. While leaning over, Chris embraced his wife as he whispered to her, more than good. Back together. Little People's Amy Roloff makes shocking business decision with ex-husband Matt. Despite nasty feud over $4 million, family farm. Matt, 61, has been estranged from his twin sons Zach and Jeremy, both 32, after refusing their offers to buy a portion of the sprawling 143-acre farm. Can exclusively reveal his ex-wife Amy, 60, filed an annual report in January 2023 to keep her business Our Pumpkin Products, ANC, active. The company, which she launched in 2016, sells pumpkin salsa, BBQ, and other types of food products. The address for the business is Roloff Farms, as the items are likely sold during pumpkin season. Amy is listed as the president of the business, while Matt remains as the secretary. For the 2022 pumpkin season, Amy was on the farm with her husband, Chris Marek, greeting fans and working despite her ex's feud with their twin sons. Amy sold off her portion of the land after their divorce, as she transferred 32.28 acres for $975,000 on August 13, 2020. In June 2019, Amy sold a portion of the farm property to her ex-husband for $667,000, RaddarOnline.com reported. Matt and Amy bought the farm in 1990 when they first got married for only $185,000. The Little People, Big World star has been in a nasty feud with his twin sons, as they were unable to come to a financial agreement over the selling of the farm. On Little People, Big World, Matt refused his son's offers on the property. The rejection ignited a rift between the pair, which Zach has talked about on the show. He said, "The north side is the 30 acres my mom and dad shared, and the whole thing was weird." He starts making excuses. Suddenly, me and my wife are not good enough to run the farm. Whether we don't have the money, don't have the skill set. The argument has further caused a divide among the family, as Zach opted to take a step back from his duties at the farm. Zach and his wife Tori made the decision to move from their Oregon home to their new $1 million abode in Battleground. The TLC star's twin brother, Jeremy, made a similar move, as he purchased his own farm with his wife. Audrey Jeremy previously put in an offer on the property, which Matt also did not accept. Audrey wrote on Instagram around that time, saying that not buying the farm was the death of a dream. Fans suspected at one point that Matt and his ex-wife Amy's youngest son Jacob will take over the farm, as he is photographed there often working alongside his father. Matt put 16 acres of the farm up for sale for a whopping $4 million on May 12, including the main house. He took it off the market in October 2022 and put the main house up for rent. Reported, the patriarch has put measures in place to keep control of the farm even after his death. In a bargain and sale deed exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, Matt transferred parcels of land from Matthew J. Roloff to Matt Roloff Living Trust for a sale price of $0 on June 24, 2022. The parcels of land include 15.68 acres, 16.60 acres, 91.56 acres, and 19.97 acres, making the total 143.81 acres. Beverly Hills attorney Adam Michael Sachs exclusively explained to the U.S. Sun why the reality star would transfer the farm to a trust. The attorney explained how the trust could come in handy amid Matt's feud with his twin sons. He said, "The trust can make a plan to maintain the property until he dies, or give it to the kids, or give it to whoever. They have to do what the trust says." Beverly Hills attorney Adam Michael Sachs exclusively explained to the U.S. Sun why the reality star would transfer the farm to a trust. The attorney explained how the trust could come in handy amid Matt's feud with his twin sons. He said, "The trust can make a plan to maintain the property until he dies, or give it to the kids, or give it to whoever. They have to do what the trust says. If your father is not married and passes away, his kids can just split the property. But if he makes a will, he can say, 'I don't leave anything to my kids.' If he doesn't want his kids to get it and puts it in a trust, the kids can't fight over it. It's whatever the trust says. If he didn't have a will or trust, it would go to the next relatives. If he has a will, he does what the will says. When you set up a trust, you do need to spell it out." A trust could also protect Matt legally, as Michael explained. This can be for legal lawsuit liability reasons. If you're a doctor and your patient sues for malpractice, if you have a multi-million house in your name, they can take it from you. So you put the house in a trust. The trust is a separate entity, it's holding it for you. If you lose a lawsuit, they can't go after the trust. It protects you from liability. The trust becomes the owner of the Matt recently revealed he is currently building a home on Roloff Farms with his son Jacob that took 5 years to plan. Exclusively revealed details on the new home that he will likely live in with his longtime girlfriend Caryn. The building permit obtained from Washington County Court in Oregon for a residential house was issued on February 15, 2023. The home will boast 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The abode will also feature an attached garage, covered porch, and deck. Matt's girlfriend refused to live in the main home as he lived there with Amy, who he was married to for 27 years. They also raised their 4 children in the home. Little people, big world. Matt found farm ordeal painful. Why he has regrets as Zach and Tori leave show. Matt Roloff's journey on Little People, Big World has been notoriously fraught, but he's revealed new information after a non-disclosure agreement expired. The Roloff family is in shambles after Amy Roloff and Matt's divorce. Amy remarried Chris Merrick following her divorce from Matt, while Jeremy Roloff and his wife, Audrey Roloff, decided to leave the show to focus on other endeavors. Despite these shifts, Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff remained committed to his family and the farm. However, everything changed in Little People, Big World Season 25. Matt put a portion of the farm, including their original family home, up for sale without consulting his children. This move deeply hurt Zach as he felt betrayed by his father's actions. Things only got worse when Matt offered the land to Zach for a price he couldn't afford, signaling to Zach that his father had no intention of passing on the farm to him. The strained relationship between Zach and Matt escalated, with disagreements popping up online. Matt now has more to say about what happened with his son. According to U.S. Weekly, Matt shared a lengthy Facebook post on April 26, 2024, after his NDA expired. The news outlet detailed Matt's open expression of the mistakes he made regarding the sale of the family farm. Most importantly, he expressed pride in Zach's accomplishments, and he would prefer a mended relationship. Matt is traditionally a prideful person, so while he didn't fully apologize or express regret for how the farm sale went down, he wishes it would have gone differently. The reality TV star detailed, "I can't say I handled it without some mistakes and missteps regarding the farm sale." He continued, "It hasn't been easy, especially all while being filmed, and sometimes even very painful. But in the end, it's all been productive, and although in hindsight I would change several of my processes, I believe the results are better, and I love watching all the kids find their independence and passions on their own terms." That's as close as Matt will venture to express regret. He knows how he handled the situation that wounded Zach, and their relationship. Amy and Matt have also clashed regarding his farm sale decisions. In an episode from March 2024, Amy expressed her sadness about the state of the farm. In a conversation with friends Lisa and Deb, she shared how the farm feels different since Matt is building a new house there with his fiancée Caryn, alluding to her disagreement. Amy felt the farm was empty, but understood that the divorce set these issues into motion. Amy sold her 32 acres of the family farm to Matt in 2020 for $975,000. She hoped that selling her half would facilitate a repurchase by her older sons. However, Matt handled this differently than Amy would have hoped. Matt eventually paid $1,642,000 to own the entirety of Roloff Farms, leading to tension between him and Zach. Zach felt cheated by his father's counteroffer, which differed significantly from his initial offer based on what Matt bought Amy out for. Amy regretted selling the farm to Matt, hoping he would negotiate a lower price with her sons. The sale of Roloff Farms has been quite confusing. In May 2022, Matt initially listed 16 acres, including the original family home, for sale at $4 million. However, he withdrew the listing in December 2023 after reducing the price to $3,395,000. After the unsuccessful sale, Matt transformed the property into a short-term rental, allowing guests to stay in the family home starting November 2022. Therefore, it seems the farm has not been sold, and he and Caryn are still living on the property. Matt revealed Jacob Roloff is currently running the entire farm. However, this is not a long-term solution. Matt has previously stated on the show that Amy will inherit the property after his death to avoid conflicts among their children, and Caryn agrees with this arrangement. While the farm decisions undoubtedly tore the Roloff family apart, Matt appears to have expressed some regret. He can do nothing to go back in time, but perhaps with some humility, he and Zach can heal, even if Zach and Tori's Little People. Big World tenure is over. Why fans can't stand Little People. Big World star Chris Marek of Little People Big World has recently found himself on the fans' bad side after many shared they don't trust him. Amy Roloff has moved on from her toxic marriage with Matt Roloff and finally found the man of her dreams in Chris. Yet TLC viewers feel Chris may have some tricks up his sleeve. Amy's new love is quite the interesting guy. Chris grew up in Portland, Oregon, and at 59-year-old, he has finally been pulled away from the bachelor lifestyle he was living. As he appears on LPBO, Chris comes across as down-to-earth and respectful. Chris has spent his life working in real estate and built quite the name for himself after spending 20 years in the business. While he may come across as Amy's knight in shining armor, not all viewers are sold on his good guy persona. Chris has been on LPBJ fans' radar ever since he changed his relationship status on Facebook and wrote he had retired his player badge for Amy. It took a while for fans to warm up to Chris, as many were upset that Amy allowed her new man into the farmhouse that Matt had built so quickly. Many fans felt that Chris was sleazy and living off Matt's hard work. Fans took every opportunity they could get to bash Chris. In 2018, Amy shared an Instagram post of their cruise with fans sharing. They believed that Chris had some terrible intentions. Eyes wide open, Amy, don't be foolish. Another supporter of Amy shared that Chris was creepy, saying they believed Chris was with her for all the wrong reasons. Other LPBJ fans have even taken to questioning Chris' sexuality. At the beginning of their relationship, viewers felt Chris might be hiding the fact that he was gay and using Amy as a beard. Some viewers found it odd that Chris had been a bachelor his whole life, yet he moved so quickly with Amy. In the most recent episode, fans were also not impressed with how critical Chris was of Tori and Zach Roloff's new home. Even though he has been working in real estate for over 2 decades, fans felt if he didn't have anything nice to say, he should have kept it to himself. For now, Chris is still on thin ice with Little People Big World fans, but many hope that he does turn out to be a decent guy who is in love with Amy. The two have been out on adventures more, as well as enjoying their motorcycle rides when they can. For now, they are savoring the honeymoon phase as Chris has just moved into Amy's home after their wedding. Only time will tell if Chris is in the marriage for the long haul or Little People Big World. Why Amy finds the family drama extremely sad. For now, Chris is still on thin ice with Little People Big World fans, but many hope that he does turn out to be a decent guy who is in love with Amy. The two have been out on adventures more, as well as enjoying their motorcycle rides when they can. For now, they are savoring the honeymoon phase as Chris has just moved into Amy's home after their wedding. Only time will tell if Chris is in the marriage for the long haul or fame. At the end of the last season of Little People Big World, viewers learned that Zach had tried to sit down and have a conversation with his father about purchasing Amy's old half of the farm. Along for the ride were Matt's girlfriend, Caryn Chandler, and Zach's wife, Tori Roloff, just in case their partners needed support. Zach revealed his father wanted way more than the farm was worth, with Matt arguing his son lowballed him. It was reported that Caryn stuck her nose in the family. Amy Roloff from Little People Big World is sharing how sad she is that her ex-husband Matt Roloff and their sons, Jeremy and Zach Roloff, are still feuding. For months, the entire Roloff family has been enveloped in the feud between father and sons, after Matt refused to sell the farm. Amy had hoped that the tiff would be fixed, but at this point, that would take a miracle. Amy spoke to her husband, Chris Marek, during a Little People, Big World episode last month, regarding her wishes for the new year and her family's fragile relationships. Amy told Chris that she still has mixed feelings about Matt's decision to hold onto the farm. Amy expressed her sadness about how her children were hurting. While Amy revealed she and Chris would lend a hand for the upcoming pumpkin season, she was well aware her children probably would not attend the festivities. Amy shared some of her children's personal feelings about the farm with the TLC camera's business and caused a major argument between the four. In the end, Zach and Tori left so upset they chose to move an hour down the road to Battleground, Washington. Many Little People, Big World fans have blamed Caryn for breaking up the family, but others pointed out how stubborn Matt is known to be. Zach and Tori seem happy with their decision to walk away from Roloff Farms. The couple is now raising their 3 children away from the drama. As for Jeremy, he and his wife, Audrey Roloff, bought a farm only 8 minutes away from his childhood home, similar to what he had growing up. Amy shared that while Roloff Farms will always be a family farm, she could understand why Zach and Jeremy want to stay away from the farm for a while. Amy explained that Zach doesn't consider it their farm anymore. With all the changes going on in the family, Amy is hoping that time will be a great healer, but revealed at that point, the farm was completely Matt's. While Chris was keeping the hope alive, Amy made it quite clear that the family is still divided. Little People, Big World. Why fans can't stand Amy Roloff. Amy Roloff has been a staple figure on Little People, Big World, but TLC viewers are unimpressed with how Amy handles her relationships with ex-husband Matt Roloff and their 4 children. After 22 complete seasons and 16 years on television, the Roloff kids, Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob, are all grown up with partners and kids of their own. In addition, Amy, who was once the co-owner of the Roloff farm in Oregon, is no longer legally entitled to the successful pumpkin patch after almost 30 years of marriage. Amy and Matt divorced in 2016, and as a part of the divorce settlement, Matt bought Amy's out of the farm. While Amy's separation from Matt changed Little People, Big World for good, the 2 exes soon found love with other partners. Matt and Caryn Chandler, who met over a decade ago when Caryn began working on the farm, have been together since early 2017. Amy, on the other hand, married Chris Marek in August 2021 after a 2-year engagement. Although Little People, Big World would be incomplete without Amy starring as the Roloff matriarch. That doesn't mean the 57-year-old is the viewer's cup of tea. In fact, fans aren't fond of Amy. Below are some of the biggest reasons why TLC fans don't consider Amy to be their favorite. Roloff family member. Although Amy and Matt filed for divorce in 2015, the former couple expressed their desire to split publicly as early as 2014. While some believe that Matt and Caryn were hanging out behind Amy and the kids' backs, that doesn't mean that Amy is without fault. Many believe that before marrying Chris, Amy did not only give herself enough time to grow as a single woman, and that she still hung up on her divorce. I just keep getting the vibe that Amy is only marrying Chris because she wants to be married, /Honestipen wrote just before Amy tied the knot again. /Agnesty07 was one Redditor that agreed with the comment, adding, "I wish Amy learned how to deal with her apparent resentment towards Matt and Caryn before attaching herself to another person." While Zach inherited Amy's form of dwarfism, achondroplasia, his twin Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob do not have the condition and are of average height. While Zach is the only Roloff child still featured on Little People, Big World, Fans have routinely accused Amy of favoriting Zach and Jeremy over Molly and Jacob since the early seasons. Looking back at the Roloff's first years on TLC, O/ConfusedJob22 remarked that Amy, who has inspired fan, was 100% invested in the twins, 25% invested in Molly, and about 5% invested in Jacob. U/Phantomoff agreed in another thread, commenting, Jacob and Molly were undeniably neglected and ignored throughout their formative years. There is a reason the show focuses on the twins, and it's because Amy also focuses on the twins. From Amy's messy house to her passive-aggressive quips, Little People, Big World fans are ultimately turned off by Amy's personality. Although viewers recognize that Matt has his own set of problematic behaviors, TLC fans fault Amy for coddling Zach and Jeremy while being quick to anger when things weren't done her way. U/ConfusedJob22 commented, Amy's very strict and stern on camera, but the kids are mostly out of control and do whatever they want regardless. While U/Poochie47 summarized enabling kids and allowing them to grow up to not have any sense of responsibility means bad parenting. Despite the fans' negative reactions to Amy, Matt's ex-wife isn't planning on going anywhere, especially while the Roloffs continue to bicker over the farm's future during season 2-3. He's been dating Caryn Chandler. Viewers will get to see more of that dynamic now that Amy will no longer be a regular fixture on Roloff farms. Matt and Amy have been doting parents to their children, so that's the one constant fans will see carry through the Roloff family. Never seemed like it would be embroiled in so much action. It's a bit surprising to learn that Amy gave up her stake in Roloff Farms since she was such an integral part of its growth and development. Of course, her ex-husband Matt really seems to love the day-to-day operational tasks associated with running things. Now that Amy is slated to get remarried, it's probably for the best. Little People, Big World has been on the air since 2006. During that time, we've watched the Roloff children grow up and even start families of their own. We've watched Amy and Matt fall out of love and move on with other people. The 2020 season of Little People, Big World could just shape up to be the most entertaining one yet. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.